Hi, folks. Thanks for tuning in. It's just before 2 o'clock on the 8th of April here in the UK. So, um, no news yet about solstice or equinox. You know what I'm talking about. It's all gone because I've just had a coughing fit and I think it shook my brain up a bit, and I can't think what I'm talking about. Anyway, I meant the eclipse. No news on the eclipse yet, but there's plenty of hype on YouTube if you want to follow that. Um, as you know, I don't come on and talk regularly, just if it's something to say, and something has pushed me today to talk about fear. Now, I was on a Zoom um, thing yesterday where I didn't know everybody. I was just one of many, but I would have expected most of the people on there to be fairly spiritual. And yet, what I'm picking up, not just there, but in other ways as well, is the fear that people seem to have. And I remember a year ago, um, my son um, almost angrily said to me, "But is it any easier knowing that all the damage that's going to be done with this latest?" And of course, I said no, because we're on tenterhooks. When? Um, Especially with loved ones and people that are close to us that we know have gone down that route. He hadn't to that at that point, by the way. Um, and of course it doesn't. But what I'm finding is that there are a lot of people suffering fear, and I reckon that as what Uncle Cliff calls hyper novelty comes into being, there'll be even more people afraid. And I've been studying up a bit. Well, not studies, maybe too strong a word. Reading up on ginseng, I can't even say it. I can read it, but I can't say it. Jinshin Jujitsu, and with them, fear, Fear, is found evidence, um, false evidence accepted as real. I should have cut out that wee bit and edit these videos to make it sound as if I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, yeah. So false evidence accepted as real, and when we're in a state of fear, it's because we expect the worst, but really we don't know. And we're gathering up all these wee strings thinking, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, the next thing is going to happen. And we're tying it all up in a big knot that's ending up in our gut. And it's also bringing down our frequency. If it brings down your frequency, it brings down your family's frequency, the people that you connect with, and of course, wider and wider and wider as it goes in through the ether, because we all know that our energy spreads. So when we can keep our frequency up there, the good frequency, the higher frequencies, the love and compassion will also spread. So it's really important. Um, sorry, another wee coughing fit. It's really important to do whatever you can to keep your frequency high. You know, play with the dog, watch your grandchildren, um, do things that you love, and don't get me wrong. I mean, having been virtually housebound, not quite, but close on for the past, what is it now, 6 or 7 months. Um, I know how difficult it is sometimes, but then I realised I've got a smile on my face. I'm going about the house with a smile on my face. I'm thinking, why? And it's just something, a bunch of daffodils for £1 on the windowsill, now opening up, is enough to make me think, oh, isn't nature wonderful? So it concerns me, the people that still have fear. Stop looking at the worst possible scenario. Yes, there's going to be things that are going to bring you down, but don't forget that we each have our own soul journey. So each of us chose to come here, our souls chose to come here, and we have a journey to go down. So if we're concerned about our loved ones and so on, that is their soul journey. Don't get me wrong, when it lands on your own doorstep, it's still grief. You're still grieving. You've got to go through the process, but let's not be selfish about it. That is their journey, and we don't have any right to interfere or concern ourselves over that. But more importantly, what is happening in the world? If you're watching the news, if you're anything that comes on, and you're like, oh, hang on a minute, this is just too low for me, switch it off. If your friends are bemoaning the state of the, I don't know, economy, the price of bread, and really getting low, switch them off. As I said to somebody one day a couple of weeks ago, do you value this person's opinion? No, not really. So why are you taking it on board? And I think that's where we now need to look. We have to seek within ourselves. We have to seek our power within ourselves and pull that to the surface and not get afraid of tomorrow, because we haven't a clue what it's going to bring. And the more we dwell on the worst possible smell, the more your frequency is going to drop. And you're going to tie yourself in knots, because as it drops, you're going to keep it low. It's going to be difficult to climb out of it. So this is why I just felt I had to talk about fear today. Don't let it drag you down. Is this false evidence that you're accepting as real? Do you value the opinion of the person who gave you this? If not, why are you taking it on board? We all know that certain news channels now have no value because they've sprouted false statements so often. So please remember, if it doesn't register with you, if you don't value the opinion from which this information came, don't take it on board. Find your inner strength. And remember, all of the people who watch this should go and live, love, and be happy. Thanks for tuning in. If you think this is going to help anybody else, please feel free to pass it on. Thank you.